The game starts you out in the abyss, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if there was any kind of tutorial, but here's where you'll learn to get a feel for the game. Just start pressing buttons. It shouldn't take long to figure most of them out. Mastering the controls are a different story. Trying to keep the camera at the right angle where you can see the opponent's face was a little rough, especially before you start messing around with the in-game mouse sensitivity slider. For a while I kept it maxed out. Lately I've been trying around 50%. It feels alright so far. Your keybinds are also found in the settings under controls. The game gives you 3 preset levels of blood and gore, ranging from light bruising to heavy bruising, blood and limbs being cut off. In the settings there's a couple more options with sliders you can play around with for a little more customization. The player's movement feels smooth, but not at first. It takes a minute to get used to how the rig moves around. There's also going in and out of when your player's hands are up versus when they're on their sides. The mouse sensitivity is different for both, and turning the camera while your character's hands are up wasn't easy. You're constantly going in and out just to keep the camera straight. A little annoying at first, but something you can adapt to. The hitbox precision feels on point in this. If the blade misses the target but the hilt or any other part of the weapon hits, they may only end up with a small bruise over a broken or missing limb. You also bruise yourself if you're punching or kicking without armor, though that doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. After your first venture through the abyss, you have a couple gameplay options, including going back into the abyss by clicking the button at the bottom of your character, or if you don't like the fog in the abyss, you have the option to turn it off. Both options look good in my opinion. The Z button toggles on and off your lock-on. There's a slider for the strength of the lock-on in your settings. It's turned on automatically, and I'm pretty sure it turns itself back on if you exit the game. It's fine for one-on-one fighting, and it's kinda nice when you're running through the abyss with your weapon out because it auto-targets enemies before you can see them. It wasn't so good fighting multiple targets, though I may not have given it a fair try. The damage to player and NPC sliders let you customize how tough you want you and your opponent to be. 0 damage taken if set all the way left, up to a maximum of 100 set all the way to the right. The Abyss is one of 3 modes at the moment in the game. The other 2 are the Gauntlet and Free mode. Within the Gauntlet you start at Beggar, the first of 9 ranks, and work your way up. Every time you start a new Gauntlet you'll be sent to fight a target dummy first. You can turn this off in your settings. You get a choice between a one-on-one fist fight or an elimination match with 4 other opponents. Both were fun. The elimination matchup gets you more points, but it'll take you a little longer than the one-on-one. At Beggar rank the matches are all 4-on-4. Sometimes you start with a weapon and sometimes you have to run around looking for it and gear off the ground. It seems like each rank has a different type of elimination match set up because later on you'll get choices like 3v3 and 1v3 matches, which is a nice change. The one-on-one stays the same except after Beggar rank, where you'll be fighting with weapons if you choose to versus hand-to-hand. If you lose in the Gauntlet you have to start over at Beggar rank, however there's a chance to just be put back a match or thrown into the Abyss. If you survive the Abyss you get to retry the last match, giving you 2 different ways to have a second chance on the way up the ladder. After gathering the points in order to rank up you'll have to fight a boss type enemy that was added into the game recently. In the first boss fight you start with nothing against a boss with a helm and an axe. Run around gathering what you can or fight him hand to hand. You can also just kick him every time he swings his axe downward till he falls or you break something. This strategy doesn't work on opponents with long weapons though. After taking out the boss, don't forget to click your new rank to put on the gear. The last mode is Free mode. You can play with the different armor and weapons as well as play through the other modes you wouldn't be able to play through in the lower ranks. There's tons more fun here. All the armor and weapon setups are preset, but you can keep clicking the rank to flip through them and choose what you like. It's a different feel with the armor and shields. Your opponent also seems more aggressive. You have a secondary weapon with the preset armor if you end up losing your main or you just want to switch. You'll need to drop your main weapon and hold E to unsheath it. Any kind of blunt weapon worked great against armored opponents. So did the two-handed sword, and pretty much any long weapon you can two-hand and use as a pugilist. Using a one-handed sword felt useless against armor. You can also decide to rank up in the Abyss. I'm not sure how far it'll let you go though. I've only gotten 2 or 3 ranks before losing to either the scythe or the longsword, and later they start sending 2 enemies at you. The game's not easy, which is part of what appeals to me. The music and sound effects are all well done. The NPCs move and react pretty damn well to almost everything. They're not really smart when it comes to objects in front of them like the fence or boxes, and most of the first couple ranks can be kicked till they give up or something breaks and they can't fight. Long weapons and fast swords seem to stop that. Swords will be wielded later by the mid-tier ranks and up. I've only come across a few bugs. The game crashing about once every hour or two is probably the worst, but not game breaking for me. If you run up on different crates and move them around too much, the items inside fall through the floor, and once I've had the NPCs fight each other when they were supposed to be teamed up in free mode. Exiting and coming back in the game fixes it. The character's fun to move around, if not a little goofy. Some jujitsu when laying on the ground would be nice instead of struggling to get up. The way they walk is like a big toddler, and it takes a bit to get used to the controls, but they work fine. Playing the game in first person seems to be the way to go with the controls. It takes some getting used to the camera, but for me it felt much easier to control over a third person perspective. A bit more realistic too. You can't see anything in the helmet and I love it. I like how Q is for your left hand and E is for your right hand, but left mouse is for your right hand and right mouse is for your left hand. It's confusing, and even after 30 plus hours in the game I still get it confused. The ability to change any of your keybinds would be nice. All in all, the game is awesome. If I'd have to give it a star rating, I'd say 4 out of 5. More things to do, like more modes maybe, or changing up the scenery as you rank up in the arena wouldn't be bad. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching.
Die me! Gotch hooks! Gosh! Egar. God's hook. Kakao. Lost. Ouster. For the love of God. Go home. Start. Egar. Gosh.